Hello and welcome inside episode number 3 of Half and Half Gets Good, Maybe Eventually, at Age of Empires. We're playing Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition, and today we are playing a matchup of me, Half and Half, the Ethiopians in blue, against McAsh91, or MCash91, who is the Franks. We are both known as what is low elo legends, not players that are particularly good at the game, but we have a good time anyways. So we're going to be watching today's game. Played this game yesterday. I'm up early with a cup of coffee watching it today because I can't ever sleep. And so we'll watch the game. We'll provide some commentary along the way and talk about what happened. And so the Ethiopians are known as an archer civilization, but they have great flexibility. They have good siege. They have decent cavalry. They can really kind of do whatever they want, while the Franks are known as a one-trick pony civilization. They are a civilization you will face a lot of times early in the game by people who simply want to play cavalry. They've got really good cavalry. They're considered sort of a noob civilization. Right here you see a big mistake that I make in this game. I let my villagers get a little out of control, and we kill 3 sheep at the same time. And that's a disaster because sheep decay as they're being collected. And so you only want to take 1 at a time. I take 3. That is going to cause me some problems in the Dark Age, as I'm going to start to run out of sheep way early now. So we're just continuing to scout. We found both of our boars. We found all of our sheep. We have 1 stone and 1 gold that are safe. We have 2 golds that are very forward and another stones. This isn't the best map, Jen. It's kind of hard to wall on this side, and having 2 of these forward golds for somebody that wants to build archers is definitely not an ideal setup. But we'll see how we're able to rebound as we go. And so every map, Jen, is somewhat standard. You're always going to have 2 boars. You're always going to have 8 sheep, or sometimes they swap out 2 sheep for a cow. You'll have 3 piles of gold and 2 piles of stone. So now we're going to head out to scout our enemy, and we're going to make yet another mistake as we run under the town hall. We're going to take arrow fire. We do escape, but we lost valuable HP on our scout. So we found our enemy, but we want to just be able to scout some of the rest of the map. As you can see, we have clicked up to feudal age, 1 second behind our opponent, but we have 1 more villager. So we had 58 seconds of idle time with our town center in the Dark Age, while he had 1:21, and that is the equivalent of 1 villager. That's something I've been working really hard to try to get down, is that idle time. It's key to being good at the game. And I've got it from 2 minutes to under a minute, but I haven't been able to get it down yet. So feudal age comes in for both of us. I start to wall up because I know that scouts are coming. We're walling the sides here. We have a barracks so we can build some spearmen, and now we're building double archery ranges so I can get my archers out, and we're walling with these buildings so we don't have to waste as much on actual walls. We're continuing to produce out of our town center. We find a hole over here with the scout that we're going to send somebody to go take care of in just a moment. And so you can see we are completely out of sheep right now. And it's a little early for that, but again, we made that critical mistake when we killed 3 sheep at the same time. And so our idle TC time is up to 1:10. His is continuing to run. It's 3:50, coming up on 4. But now we have a disaster. He is inside of our base. How did he get inside of our base? We're walled over here. We missed 1 tile. When we drug it to the edge, we hadn't scouted to the edge, and it won't let you place a building in the fog of war. And so we make a critical mistake. We leave a hole in our wall, and a wall with a hole in it is no wall at all. And so he's going to go back out, and we didn't even notice that. We're so busy looking at other things. And so he's going to run off, and he's going to group up. We've got some more army coming here. There's no way that I shouldn't have seen that. But here it is, the picture moments before disaster. We've got 5 enemies coming in. We notice he has clicked armor here. He knows he's going to get into our base, and so he clicks armor for his scouts. And he's going to head in to try to do villager damage. And so he's attacking a villager here. He's going to get 1 villager kill. He goes to my wood line. It's a slow reaction for me, but now I'm pulling my wood villagers off. I'm pulling my gold villagers off. There's 2 villager kills. I get spears out. I'm going to get 1 of his scouts. He's going to get a 3rd villager killed. This is disastrous. You can't be losing villagers like this in this point of the game. But fortunately for us, we still have a villager lead because he is still idling his town center. So we are still up 6 villagers despite the fact that we are losing all of these villagers to his raid. So for some reason, he runs under a town hall and he's going to take some arrow fire instead of heading up to our wood line. We send a villager down here to finish our wall, so at least he can't get anything else in, and we've got it protected by a spearman. So he's going to run away. Now he is still causing issues in our base as we're chasing him around. We're grouping our archers up to try to go get him. But we're just trying to get back to work. We're trying to cut down that idle time. He comes in here after our gold, but we're chasing with spears. We're chasing with archers. And at this point, he probably can't hope to get many more villager kills. He just wants to continue to idle my eco. And so he runs in, gets another. We're just sort of chasing him around, which, again, is a bad strategy. You really should just post one of these spearmen by each wood line, by your gold, and go from there. But we're going to continue to chase him around the map. And now he wants to run out the same hole that he came in to save his army, but he doesn't realize that it is walled up. And so he begins to attack to try to get out. And that's going to be the end of this little raid, as our archers are going to come down here and we're going to finish off the job. And so what's the net damage done here? Oh, as he runs away. Well, the net damage is that he killed 4 of my villagers. And yet I still have a 7 villager lead for the simple reason that he was unable to keep his town center producing while he was attacking me. But he is up to castle age now, and I have not yet clicked up. And so he hides his army down here, which is a savvy move. But he comes out a little too fast, and we're going to see him. And we're going to finish cleaning this up without even losing an archer in the process. So he has clicked up to castle age. He is researching husbandry, and now he's back at the front of my base with more scouts. And you could call that an overinvestment in scouts. You really should not have scouts like this. Still pushing out as you're in castle age. You want to make that switch into knights, but we're just going to park our spears here, and we're not going to worry about it as we're getting our town center going. We're pushing our lead. We've got a 10 villager lead. We're building our blacksmith, which is the last building we will need, and we'll be clicking up to castle age very quickly here. But he runs back down the side. He just wants to continue to harass, and he is going to be able to get into this wall here. Except he runs away. But he could have gotten through that wall, but there were spears there waiting for him. And so we'll just keep shadowing him around the base as we are full walled. We are not making military right now, which is perhaps a mistake. We should continue to make archers. We should continue to make a few spears. But we have clicked up to castle age. We're researching archer armor. We're researching our gold mining upgrades so we can get the gold faster. And we're dropping house walls behind our buildings here, or behind our walls here to help protect us. And so he's going to run back with his scouts. We will drop our market, and we'll speed the gameplay up just a little bit here. And so you can see up here at the top, he's starting to build knights. He has 4 knights now. We're still sitting with 7 spearmen and 16 archers. We have a villager lead of 8. but he's caught up some villager production while our town center has been building. And here come his knights. Now he wastes the element of surprise because his knights start to attack a building, but he's going to come down here to attack our gate. And so here come our pikemen. Ethiopians get the free upgrade from spearmen to pikemen. And he is going to get a villager here, but it's a bad reaction for him not to realize what's happening. He's just going to throw these knights away, at least two of them. And he comes back with the last two. So he's going to throw these knights away against pikemen, which are a hard counter to knights. So we'll come back in, and we've successfully taken out his first knight push. He did no damage. And so we're going to repair our gate here. Gates are a vulnerable point in walls. A gate is 4 tiles, and it only has 400 hit points. You can see down here, whereas a single tile palisade has 250. And so you are putting a big opening there. It's a lot of place for people to attack. And so gates, you don't want a bunch of them, but you need one so you can get your troops in and out. So our crossbow upgrade has come in. We have bought some wood because we took too many villagers off of wood, or we had too many villagers on wood get killed. And so now we're trying to build up our numbers again. We've got a 4 villager lead. We've got a big military lead. We could be pushing out here, but we're a little concerned about the mobility of his knights. And honestly, we just play too scared a lot of the time of knights. So we drop a second town center on the wood line so we can just start constantly producing villagers to chop wood. And so we've got 7 villagers queued up. We should absolutely be making more army right now. We have 1,400 food, 1,300 gold. You do not want to float that many resources. And yet we are floating resources big time. And so we will speed the game up here. We're going to send a few pikemen out. We find a relic in the corner, and we're going to start to explore parts of the map that we haven't found yet. Since our scout died early, we didn't get good scouting, but we want to see what's out here by our map. We get attacked by a lion. Pikeman wins that. So we're just going to start exploring the map. We're going to boom our eco. We're building a mining camp on this stone. We've got a monastery up. We're going to go try to get some relics. And so relics, there's 5 relics on the map. We've got one here. We've got one here. We found one here. We've got one here. And the other one is likely in the back corner here. And so relics give you free gold that produces throughout the game. So they're an important thing to grab, and we're going to go try to get those as we drop another town center. This one outside of our walls on wood. Probably should have deleted this lumber camp and put it right here. But that's okay. As our monk comes around, going to go drop off that relic. And we are up to the Imperial Age. So now we are getting the Arbalister upgrade, which makes our crossbows much more powerful. Our score lead is now 1,000 points. We have 2 more villagers. We've got 10 more military. And we are out collecting relics. And now we have a town center in the front on gold. And we're going to start building siege workshops because we did see a couple skirmishers earlier. And the best way for archery civs to deal with those is with mangonels. And so we're going to drop that. And then we are going to start dropping some stables so we can tech into Hussar and we can use it to raid his eco as he comes in with a couple more scouts here. He's out scouting. We're still trying to pick up relics. We're building a house right here in our little hole in the wall because we don't want him to get in. And we have found another pile of stone. We're going to remember that for later. And so we're just trying to expand towards the center of the map and start to take up a little bit of map control here. We are up to 82 villagers. We've still got the lead. We've got 29 arbalisters. And we are forgetting to get our upgrades in our blacksmith. And so that could come into play later. It's a mistake by us, but we will see if we recognize it in time, as we have 2 relics now. There's a 3rd relic in the corner here that we sent a monk to go get. And I think they got picked off somewhere along the way and we never noticed it, because the game will actually, when it ends later, I'm going to realize this relic is still here and that we never picked it up. But we've got a couple of monks. Monks are a counter to knights. You can convert knights. They can also heal your troops, which is important. As now we're going to come out and we're going to drop a castle on this hill. We're going to try to do that to protect our gold and the front of our base. And here come a couple of scouts. He's going to scout our castle. And he's going to run by it. That's not an engagement. He could take villagers, can kill scouts. And so he's going to run back by. Now we are in Imperial Age and he is still just in Castle Age. And so he can't compete with us in terms of straight army fights. He really needs to get up quickly. We've beaten him to Imperial Age by a lot. And we're going to continue to build villagers. We're up to 91 now. So we finish our castle. We now have the first castle on the map that we know of. Now he does have a castle back home, but we don't know that. And we're going to send the villagers back to work. We've queued up a couple of mangonels here. This is siege that's going to help us deal with those. So he came to our town center here. He attacked a couple of villagers, and so now he knows it's here, and so we're getting more worried about a raid. We think he might try to come into the backside of that base here. Now we can see that he is dropping a castle right here. It's going to be within line of sight of ours. Ours is on a higher hill, so we're going to get that hill bonus. We should be building trebuchets now, so we can just take this down as he's building it. But we don't think to do that right away. As you can see up here at the top, we're teching into light cavalry, hussar. Hussar is it's called a trash unit. It is a food-only unit, and we start to have a ton of food. And so we know that we want to be able to just spend that food on something. And so that's what we're doing right now as we continue to mass our military. We now have 16 more villagers than him, but he has caught us in military production. We have 39 arbalisters, now 41. We have 9 pikemen. And we have 7 knights as he is buying gold. And now we're going to come up here with our villagers and we're going to build some more production buildings out front. So he's building another castle on this hill. We have not scouted that yet. Or excuse me, that's where we're building a castle. We're coming around. We're going to build this castle on the hill. So we've got 2 castles. We are now building trebuchets. We're building a couple of bombard cannons as he advances to Imperial Age. And so we know what is coming in terms of trebuchets, and bombard cannons can be used to snipe those. As you see, he's got a bunch of military built up right here. And we're bringing our military to make sure that this castle is going to go up. Now we're letting our TC idle right now at 100 villagers. We should continue to build villagers until we get to the population cap, which we have not done. And so immediately our castle starts firing at that siege workshop. We really need to get those villagers back to work, but we're a little slow. And so we've got our 2 trebuchets here. We've got 2 mangonels and 2 bombard cannons built. We're sending our villagers back to work. One of them takes a really weird path to go around here. And so here comes his trebuchet. It's unpacking. We can see it. And it's going to begin to fire at that castle. So we unload ours to go at his. And so he has 1 going at each castle, which is not the smartest play. He should have them both going at the same castle. We can knock it down quicker, but we're going to we try to send our bombard cannons to snipe it. The range isn't long enough. We do that, but it's a bad play. So we're going to send villagers to repair our castles. Here come his knights on one side, and he's got throwing axemen on the other side, but we have some pikemen out front. This is going to be a bad engagement for him. As we take out those knights, and then his throwing axemen are going to come in. He has skirmishers. Now this is where we can get into trouble. He has 36 skirmishers, which are a counter to archers, but he's fighting under our castle. He takes a huge shot from a mangonel right there. but he has one of his own coming in and we don't recognize it in time, and he's going to hit a big shot there. But overall, we're going to decisively win this engagement as he retreats. Both of our castles are still standing, and we're going to get back to work comparing it as we chase him out here. So we now have 70 military to his 28. We are building some more trebuchets. We've got 2 in this castle that we really should pull out. We should be pulling these up. And so now we have our hussars. So we're going to send those to go try and snipe his trebuchet. And it's going to work. We get one, we go run to get the other. We're going to lose a lot of these guys, but that's totally fine. They only cost food, which we were floating close to 3,000 of. It does not matter. And they're also good against skirmishers. So we've taken out his siege, and we took out a bunch of his skirmishers, and obviously his knights are going to win, but this is a net win for us because our castles are up. He has no trebuchets. We still have military numbers. We've got 63 to his 23. Our villager count is dead even. And we've got a trebuchet that is sitting here attacking. Here come knights. So we start to convert knights. And they do take out our last trebuchet. But that's okay. Because we're going to clear up his knights here. We have converted a knight. We're chasing. And here comes some more skirmishers. And since it's such a small number, we'll just take those down. And here comes some more light cavalry. So we're going to go after his repair villagers here. For his castle, he has to garrison. This is a bad move. We're just throwing them away to these knights. But to be honest, we're probably not even looking at the screen right now. We're trying to build villagers. We're trying to build military. We're doing a whole bunch of things. One of the things we're not doing is our army. As we bring our 2 trebuchets from our other castle back behind, and we're going to unpack them to try to take down his castle again. So we have 28 archers queued up right now. We have a hole in our base now from our stone. We have a hole in our base from our wood here. We've got a hole in our base from that gold. And so there's lots of holes in our base if he decides he wants to raid us. But right now we've got his attention fixed on our castle. And now we decide, you know what? Let's just drop another castle. We've got the stone fort. And so we're going to come right in front and we are going to drop another castle. I believe I just selected all of my idle villagers and told them to go build that castle because I didn't really want to go look and find them all. So they're coming in from all over the map. We still have 5 monks. They're healing all of our troops, and his castle is going to go down with that with one more shot. There goes the castle. Here's the raid we're talking about that's coming. We have no idea that it's there, but there's a hole in our wall, and so we're focused out here. Meanwhile, he's about to run into our base, and so let's see how long it takes us to figure out he's there as we continue to win this fight up front. We garrison those villagers to keep them safe, but he is into our base. Starts to attack a farm, likely because he just clicked his soldiers to go in there. And that's a pretty quick reaction, to be honest, for me. He doesn't get a villager before I react, and I ring the town bell. And now he's going to run around our base. We'll try for a conversion here. We're not able to get the conversion. We're going to lose the priest. We send back our pikemen. And now we don't have enough space to garrison everyone. So he's going to come in. He's going to start to get some more villagers. We're chasing him with pikemen. Now we told the villagers just to attack, to be honest, to slow him down. We're sort of throwing them out there to let him get killed, just to slow down his guys for our pikemen, and now he's running away. We unring the town bells. We tell everybody, get back to work. We don't care if you're in trouble. And we will end that raid. But here comes some more troops, and we have still not fixed the problem. Now we send someone to stonewall the hole in our base, but it will not be fast enough as he's sending in another raid. This time it is 13 troops, and he's just trying to raid his way back into the game. And so he's going to kill these villagers. He has now killed 15 villagers this game, and the massacre is just going to continue. I'm pretty sure it's a war crime to attack civilians, but that's how McCash or Mcash, that's how he rolls. So we're going to return the favor in a minute as we send hussars into his base. We're going to go try to kill some villagers up here. But back at our base, we're just getting demolished. But he stops to attack a monastery. So we're going to catch up to him, and we are going to get rid of those. He has one right here that's just killing a bunch of villagers. We go back to ours. They're finally going to get our knight that we converted of his. So we clean up his attack. We have 15 villagers against one knight. You would think those villagers could like pull him off his horse and pummel him to death, but that's not the case. I tell him to attack, and he's just picking people off and not even thinking twice about it. So bad move for me, but I'm focused on other things. We're in the middle of the map right here. We're still fighting. We have moved all of our archers and our pikemen inside of our base to protect it. And so he's still just cleaning up these villagers down here. But we desperately need to stonewall our base in, and here it comes. We're going to wall here, and we're just going to start to try and tidy up our base, because we know the only way that he can get in, or he can beat us, is if he's able to get into our eco. He clicks the paladin upgrade, which is a very expensive upgrade to make his cavalier better. That's probably a mistake. At this point in the game, he's so far behind. We just send these villagers to go fix the wall. They're sacrificing their lives to keep the rest of their family safe. But this is probably a mistake from him. His knights are powerful enough, and he's behind. He should have continued to pump military and tried to get into our base and in this game, but he's going to continue to get villagers here, and he's finally going to go down by the pikemen. So we're stonewalling this side of our base. Stonewall the town center out because it's so far away. We're going to eventually fix this. We now tech into Halberdier, which is a better version of the pikemen. And now we are down to 82 villagers, but we are pop capped because we have an army of 118 as we close those last few holes in our base. So we send some villagers out here to collect this gold that's out on the corner because we have no gold income right now. And we research Bracer, which is a key technology we should have researched the moment we hit Imperial Age, but we weren't paying attention. We forgot about it. And now we're going to drop some more production buildings, some more archery ranges out front as we sort of regroup our military. Now we're sending some troops up here. We have scouted this stone. What we don't know is that that stone's gone and that he has villagers up here farming. So that might become important later on. So we're going to come up here, and I'm not paying attention. I've just clicked for him to build this building, but eventually we're going to realize there is nothing there. And so at 200 pop, we need to be pushing our advantage, but we're trying to sort out our eco, get our base walled. We're building some more barracks and stables and archery ranges up front here, just to get our production closer to the front lines. But what we're actually doing is we are allowing him to build more troops and to get back into this game. So let's speed it up a little bit here. And so we're organizing the army, and we are ready to push up here with our arbs. So we're going to come up. We see that mangonel, and we're going to run away, but we get our halberdiers in front as a meat field, and they just go through these knights. The arbs behind. And we're going to send them after the catapult, because one well-placed catapult shot can take out a lot of army of the archers. Now we've got skirmishers. We're going to send our hussars in to get skirmishers and to get mangonels, as we just continue to pull our arbalisters back and keep them under the protection of our town. Meanwhile, up here, his knights have come and killed our villagers, and we still haven't noticed, which is just a bad move by us. We're now down to 72 villagers as our hussars are going to run in, and we see all these production buildings now. He's just pumping out skirmishers, which are the counters to our arbalisters, but we know one-on-one we can take these knights and these arbs as they come out, and that is a problem with forward buildings, is if they get pushed, we can take these things out off one at a time as they come out. And so now he's got some knights. They're coming over here to try to get into our base, but we are walled up, and so he should not be able to get into our base. And yet he does, because we've now chopped a hole in our wall, and he is into our eco again. So we decide that we're going to send some of these hussars. We're going to send them up here where we don't know what happened to these villagers, but we know they're gone, and we can see that there were farms here. And so we're just going to send them up here to go have a little fun. Let's just go chase a few villagers. As he's still killing villagers, we're now walling this. We're fixing our problem, but we're not really sending military back, which is perhaps a mistake, as he's just going to continue to kill villagers. But we're going to go kill a bunch of his villagers too. So he has now killed 58 of our villagers, 59 of our villagers, and the numbers continue to go up. We ring the town bell. We're aware of this now. And I think there's a certain element of just not caring because we feel like we're so far ahead in the game, which can be a fatal mistake. And so he's running around. We're still just massing our military up here. And now we're going to send a force of our reinforcements up here to go take care of that. As we have a big engagement up on the front. We're still killing villagers back here. We're fighting on 3 fronts right now. And we are not doing the best job of managing all of it. But neither is he. He stops to attack a mining camp here. So we're more than happy for him to be doing that. So we clean up those knights. He's got a bunch of skirmishers, but they're taking castle fire, and so we will pull back. We are happy for him to continue to attack into our castles here. It's just extra support for us. We've got 3 back here. We're down to 2, but they're still healing our troops. Meanwhile, we've killed all those villagers up here. We're trying to get into his base, but he is house walling behind just so we cannot. Now we're going to finish up those knights that got into the base, and we are now full stone wall. So we are down to 56 villagers. He has 96, but 36, now 23 of them are idle. And so he's got a villager lead, but we have so many resources that our issue is not villagers. We just need to be pushing our attack as we're finishing up our gold up here, and our idols are going to start to pop up. So we realize we're not going to get through here. We pull around. We're looking for another hole in the wall. Meanwhile, we set up our trebuchet under the castle to start trebbing down his siege. And he takes a big shot at our trebuchet there. And then he's going to back up. Again, we'll get our halberdiers out in front as a meat shield. And we're going to lose that trebuchet more than likely, because we actually save it. But we're glad to lose it to take out some of his knights. So now we're hitting his town center. We're just continuing to take his buildings. And we'll take these fights under our castle all day. We tried to get in here. Again, we can't. And so we're just going to bring him around behind, hit his skirmishers. So here come all of our hussars. We are still at population cap. We're nowhere close to running out of resources. So we're going to push up and we're going to take some fights even under his castle. So here come the hussars. They're taking out his skirmishers. We're just going to continue to push in. And he calls the good game. He will resign. And we are victorious. And so if we go look at the map here, if I can figure out how to do that, there we go. So the full map, you can see, we got a good sized base here. Apparently, we never actually finished this wall, although we thought we had. So again, a wall with a hole in it is no wall at all. We took gold out here. We were about to move up and start taking wood, but we were floating so many resources. He had so few resources, even though he had more villagers than we did. We were able to push the front. We were able to control the middle of the map. And at the point that these hussars showed up, his skirmishers would no longer be effective. He didn't have the gold to continue knight production. And so although he could have held out for longer, this game was over. And so it's a good game by McCash. Still some things we need to work on in protecting our eco and getting out of the Dark Age faster, but all in all, a good game. And so the moral of today's game is that a hole in a wall means that you have no wall at all. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If so, drop a comment and let me know. I will continue to upload some videos, and maybe we'll start to diversify my Civ and my play style a little bit. Maybe we'll go for some archer plays or some faster aggression in some of our future videos. Till next time, we'll see you guys later.